Hey, hello, and welcome back to Good Knit Kisses. I'm your host, Kristen, and today we are talking about crochet. It is Thursday Crochet Day. If you're watching on the replay, be sure, and if you have questions, write the word replay and then your question. And of course, if you're watching and just want to make comments, go ahead and just make comments. You don't have to worry about trying to write replay on everything, just if you have a specific question. And then I'll answer it in the following week. So welcome. I'm so glad if you're joining me live. Be sure and tell me new if this is your first time and where you're from. And give me a shout out and I'll tell you hello and good morning this first few minutes here while I'm chatting face to face. Let me know if you're going to crochet with me, and you can say CAL for crochet along. Good morning, Ellie. Good morning, good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning to you. I got my coffee. Da-da. Good morning, Betty. Welcome. Are you guys going to crochet with me today? Anybody? All right, send me some likes if you're going to crochet with me. You can always respond, especially if you're actually working along with me. If you want to just hit the emoji button instead of typing, just to let me know you're still there. So, oh, wonderful. Yes, great, Betty. Yeah, Betty's going to do it. Ellie, CLA, what size hook do I need? Okay, so let's talk about the tools here. So you can use whatever hook is appropriate for whatever yarn you got. So I'm going to work again just because I love to use this color. You can see it really well. It's kind of my signature color, if you couldn't tell. Anyway, this is Lion Brand Hometown USA, and it's this one right here. It is a super bulky number 6. It calls for an N13 or 9mm hook. Now, I actually really like to use this one until I get some more. This is that clover one we discussed last week. This is an L hook. I can go up to the N, which is this one. So if it's better, it's easier to see with this one, then I'll use that. I do like this one, but I think I want to use my pink one. I have questions about my coffee cup. Hold on a second. I'm going to say hi. Hi, Stacy. Good morning from into the UK from Texas, the great state of Texas in the United States. Angel Heart asks if I'm drinking from a Yeti cup or a cup or an Ozark cup. I will tell y'all, now this looks like this big expensive cup. I'm going to say I didn't pay a dime for it, and that's because my mother bought it for me. And before I ever knew what a Yeti cup was or any of the other competing brands, my mom and dad flipped their lid about these things, and they were like, "You've got to have one. You've got to have one." And I'm like, "I'm good. I'm fine. It's fine." And so they bought me 2 of them for Christmas, last Christmas. So anyway, I probably would check out the Arctic or any other ones because this mama needs to save money. I'm sure everybody else does too. So don't think I'm a snob when I say it's a Yeti cup. Anyway, I would change this top out in a heartbeat if I saw the ones that lock, because I heard the Arctic ones have and some other ones. Anyway, okay, that's totally not about crochet. Let's get moving on crochet. Sorry. Question of the day. All right, let me go back. CAL. Ellie, that's okay. That's okay. I thought maybe you might were trying to say CAL. CAL is crochet along. For those of y'all just joining us, let me know if you are CAL, you're crocheting along with me. You can tap a heart or like or something if you're trying to respond instead of typing. Anyway, so good morning. All right, I'm going to flip the screen here and show you what I'm looking at, and we're going to actually work together. I worked up a sample, and I kind of want to show you how it can kind of get a little wonky, and we're going to fix some of those, but I wanted to show you the single crochet, and then the half double, and then the double, and then we'll do a triple. But this sample, let's look at it first, and then we'll go into the lesson. We'll get started. We'll work a foundation chain. So here we go. All right. So also yesterday we covered this gauge. This is for measuring your knitting gauge. It's from Boy, and then it has all the needle sizes. But I actually have this one from the Knitting Fairy, and this is Knitting Fairy is in Grand Prairie, Texas, and she's got lots of cool tools and stuff. She's near me. I've seen her at different shows. But anyway, this shows it's also got hook gauge on it, and then it actually says the letter. So if you're in the U.S., it has the letter on it as well, and so it even goes up to a 19. Okay, so this is a 19 or 35, so 19 millimeter 35 or S needle here, and this one actually I don't even have this one on here. I think this is a P hook. No, this isn't a P hook. This is a I don't know why this one's not on here, but anyway, if anybody knows which one this is, yeah, my other gauge won't do it. But anyway, this is a plastic hook here. So there's different hooks available to you. You can use plastic. This is a plastic one that has a really nice little handle on it. You've got metal, and then you've got wood, and there's, of course, lots of styles out there and lots of different brands. So today I'm going to use this plastic one, and actually I'm going to start with the end, because my yarn recommends it, and then you guys will get to see how this can grow. Because what I did is I used on the back here, when you're looking at your ball band, you're going to go back to this little gauge thing. Now, not every yarn has this, but in the U.S. we have this nice ball band here from the Yarn Craft Council, and they have they're recommending a needle size and then a hook size, and the hook is recommended as an N13 or a 9 millimeter. And but like I said, you can step down and use another one. You use a smaller hook and then get a tighter stitch. So we'll go ahead and use the bigger one, and we'll show you. So what we're going to work on today is, oh, you think it's a Q hook, Michelle? This one? Maybe, yeah. But yeah, that seems like it could be that. Yeah, Q. I don't like that they don't label it. That's really hard. I probably need to label that one with permanent marker. So this is a chain. This is like 12 chains on here. And then I've done 2 rows of single crochet. And so you can see how nice and tight that is. It gets real thick and stiff in this super bulky, of course, but you can see the stitches better on camera here. And then we go on to so these are 2 rows of single crochet, and then we have 2 rows of half double. So in between my fingers and thumbs here, this is a half double crochet. And so you'll actually see a half double a lot for hats and, oops, sorry, I hit that with my foot. I'm so sorry. Let me move my camera back. Anyway, I hit my tripod. You'll see half double used in a lot of baby blanket patterns and hat patterns and stuff, because it grows the stitch faster than a single crochet. A single crochet can take forever, it seems. And then you go on to, let's see, a double. And a double is very popular. It works up fast. And when I pull them apart, you can see. So here's me trying to pull apart the half double. This is the single. So it's just super tight. So if you need something dense, there's the half double. And then this was the double. And see how it is more open and airy. These are called posts, this middle part here. So when I say post, you'll know I'm talking about this chunky part here. So, anyway, and then I worked this sample up to show you what not to do. And so when you're ending your row, if you continue to grab through the hole instead of going through the stitch, okay, so if I go through the stitch and grab up my yarn, and we'll go through this, but I'm just showing you some problem solving for anybody who had kind of a pain point to that. You grab your yarn and you start your stitch from here and not from here, because what it does is it creates a hole. So anyway, I wanted to show that in the beginning instead of someone have to scrub through and find out a problem solving thing here. So without going through the whole thing, if that's all you needed today, I hope that helps you. Okay, we're going to get started. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey everyone who's just joining us. Candy Annie from Florida, and hi to Julie. Candy Annie, I hope she says I hope to get to watch before the storm hits. Wow, I do too. And this is starting to be hurricane weather for you. So I hope you guys are safe and keeping dry. Okay, I wish you well. I don't know what kind of storm that is, but hopefully it's not a bad one. Okay, let's. I'm gonna put this to the side. And we're going to work. And also, if we want, we can cover later on. This is on my website on goodknitkisses.com. If you ever want to Google anything that has to do with me, if you'll write whatever you want and then write Good Knit Kisses. But you can go on my website and also hit the search bar and find stuff. But this is the marshmallow crochet baby blanket that several people have really enjoyed. You can make it in solid, you can make it in stripe, you can alternate multiple colors. You don't have to just do two. It's really fun to do. This is actually 3 rows of the stitch pattern to make that big color band. It sets up really nice with the 3 rows. So it looks like maybe 1 row, or you might think, oh, it's 2, but it's actually 3. And then anyway, so the whole pattern's on here, and then that's another picture of it. See that? And then I talk about what you need on there, and so anything that I'm going to show you now, you'll be able to do this pattern. So if we don't get to that today, know that you're just going to need to know how to do a chain. That's just to start doing a double crochet and a single crochet, and then we alternate between the two. And then I show you how to color change in it. And then there's actually, if you keep looking, I actually have the pattern embedded, the video embedded in my site. And then I cover in a second video how to make the border. Okay. And then if you're into knitting or loom knitting, you can use this with your loom knitting. You can make a loom knit item and then add a crochet border. So anyway, I hope that works for you guys. I'm going to set this off to the side, but I wanted you to see that. Okay. And that makes a 35 inch by 26 inch blanket. So, all right, let's get our yarn out and make a slip knot. Okay. If you've never made a slip knot before, the way that I do it is I wrap it around my finger twice, and then I lift the back and slightly in front of the front, and lift the new back over the tip of my finger, and then I stick in my hook. Okay. Oh, I said I was going to use this end hook, didn't I? Okay. So, and then I just pull on my yarn, and then I get it nice and loose on there. We don't want it super tight, and we don't want to get it like where it just falls off the hook. So this is pretty good right here. And then this, I want you to notice before you start your project, if you switch out hooks, make sure and notice where it changes. If you notice there's a slight dip back here where you hold it with your thumb, and then it goes down here, and I think this is called the throat. But I'm trying to remember the anatomy of a hook, but there's actually names for these things. But it gets skinnier right here, right? So this is the little sweet spot right here. So you want to make sure and get your yarn back up onto here in order to make sure that it doesn't get too tight. Now, depending upon your your attitude and what's happening around you, you can get too tight. Or if you're super relaxed, it could be like really relaxed one day and really tight the next day. So make sure and kind of remember this spot, and that will at least help you in that area. Okay, and then this one, see how there's a bigger area to guide. So if I went down here on this one, it would actually start getting smaller here. So, sorry, I had a reminder on my phone. And then like this one is different too. So see how they're all slightly different? I don't know if you can tell with that white paper, but this gets smaller when I turn it to the side. Okay. And then like stuff like this one, man, the whole back end is just all the right gauge. Okay. All right. So if that's clear as mud, we'll continue. Now I'm not going to worry about, how to hold your yarn. I when I show tutorials, I'm not trying to make you hold it the way I do. In fact, sometimes I kind of change how I do it. So I just kind of hold it lightly and put my finger around, and then I'm going to start pulling. I touch the slip knot and I kind of pull downward a little bit, And then now I'm going to wrap around. Okay, so we're going to go around the back side of the hook so that when I pull it, it gets trapped inside this hook here. And then we're going to go down to this teardrop shape we're going to make. So when I pull on here, you can see there's a little teardrop shape, and then I pull it through. Okay, so I just made one chain. All right, so you can even put your finger on here to guide, and I'm going to wrap around here like this. Okay, so if you're not holding in a certain way, you can kind of pinch here and then wrap around and do it too. Okay, and you can kind of, sometimes I pinch it through here. So it's whatever is comfortable for you while you're learning. So I just made 2 chains, 1, 2. Okay, you can tell by these little bumps here. All right, let me know if you can't see me. It looks to me like I can see the stitches pretty well at the level I'm holding it. This is comfortable for me to hold this way. So if you can't, let me know, and I'll try differently. Okay, so now I can even move my finger up when I need a better grip. When it gets too far down and you're getting cramped, please don't do that. Just relax and come back up here and hold it, okay? Now we're going to yarn over and pull through again, okay? If you notice, I'm rotating my hook while I do it. So I'm going to wrap around. So if you want to leave this where it is, you can just use this hook. Some people move this hand more, some people move this hand more. I kind of do both. So I'm going to rotate my hook and then pull it through. I like to teach different ways because we're all different, right? So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to move my hand up and then continue. 6, 7, 8. Okay, for now, let's just do 8, or at least on mine, I'm going to do 8. So this is about, well, let me tell you how big this is. See how this comes in handy? This is almost 4 inches. So this is going to be about 3.5 inches wide here. Maybe do 10, 9, 10. Okay. And then we're going to do a single on this one. Okay. So on the single crochet, you've got 1 from the hook, and then you've got 2 from the hook, and then we are going to go in the number 2. Okay. So we're going to take our hook and go into that second chain from the, so this would be the first chain from the hook, and this is the second chain from the hook. We're going to go down into that. Now, there are different ways to do this. I go in and I pick up this loop here, and then I go to the back and I grab the loop that's adjacent to it. Okay. So that's an actual chain. Okay. So if I just went through the front, that first loop, then that's in the front loop. Okay, if I just grabbed, let me point with another thing. Okay, so this is the one that's on the hook. I'm sorry, I'm going really slow in the beginning because I want to make sure I'm very clear about this. This is what's on the hook. This is the first bump, okay, the first front. So this is the front loop. This is the back loop, okay? I'm going through both loops. Like I said, some people will tell you go through the back loop or go through the front loop only. And I think on the foundation chain, it's a more solid looking piece to make it go through the 2 chains here. And that's how I show it. And that's how I was taught, but not everybody does that. So now we're going to yarn over, sorry. Okay, and then we're going to pull that through. Okay, so we're pulling it through both of those. All right, and it comes right out. All right, now when we pull down like this, you can see this 1 loop left. So all your chains have 3 loops. You got 1 and then the 2 on the top. So we're going to come up like this because we're not crocheting down here. We're crocheting up here. So because all the work's going to build on top of it this way, not towards you. So we're going to pull back and you see this loop here. So now you have 2 on the hook. Whoops. And then we're going to wrap around and go through both. All right. So what you just did is, and whenever you start your foundation chain, when you skip, when it's telling you to skip, the first part that you build is actually counted as a stitch. So this would be the first single crochet, but you actually just did one here. So technically you're on number 2. So if you have to have a series of them along here, it always counts that. Okay. So let's do another one. We're going to go into the next next chain. Okay, so it went through this one. Once you've got that one, you can see, oh, here's the loop. Well, let's just go down and find the next loop, right? So now I can just put my hook through here. Okay, be sure and pick up those two. Now on the foundation chain, it can be a little harder. Some people also, now master crocheters don't recommend this, but you can actually take a larger hook and kind of cheat your way so that whenever you start your chain, you do it with a larger hook and then you switch to the smaller one for this first row or for the rest of your project. So now I've got it pulled up and then I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to go through. All right. So do you catch that? And so now here's the first part. Here's the first one you actually did. And then here's the next single crochet. We're going to, whoops, I don't want to yarn over. So now we're going to go on the next one. Okay, we're through here. We're going to yarn over, pull that through, and now we're going to yarn over again and pull through both. So we're going to keep going down the line. Tell me stop if you're working along and you need me to do it slow again. I'm going to get down to the end. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. Oh, this yarn's splitting on me. I'm sorry, y'all. This yarn is not behaving this morning. This is 6. If I can see over my tripod, this would be great. 7. 8. 'It gets better on the next row, I promise. Okay, that's 9. Ah, stop it. Okay, and then 10. Make sure and go in that last one, okay? Okay, so now I've gone all the way through, okay? So I've got the 10 because that first one counted. And then now I want to chain up 1, okay? So we're going to yarn over, chain up 1. Make sure this is loose. I mean, you don't want it super tight. Now we're going to turn, okay? So this is the back side now. Now you can see what that stitch looks like. So now we're going to go into the first stitch here from the hook because we're going right down. See this little post here? We're going to go into this empty space here because we want those 2 pieces on top of our hook. And then we wrap around and we pull through and then yarn over again. So now I'm right on top of that second stitch here. So we're going to yarn over. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep wanting to go on to the next stitch to show y'all. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the next one. So we're going to repeat across all these chains here. We're going to go into the loops here. We're going to pull out from the yarn over and then yarn over again and pull through. Okay, so we go in, wrap around, and through both. Okay, through 2. So in, wrap, through 2. Go in, wrap, pull through 2. Go in, wrap, pull through 2. In, wrap, pull through 2. Okay, so in the 2 loops, wrap around, pull through, and then wrap again and pull through 2. Okay? You never did that kind of foundation before? Did you do one that was all set up at the same time? Some people do one where it's like a foundation and a chain at the same time. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so you might go, oh, like mine's, I'm trying to be really clear here about the stitch, but you see this little bump here. we're actually going to work into that. If you don't work into that, you'll start making a triangle, because you'll start making it shorter on this side and shorter on this side. And so if you want to make a triangle, then that's what you would do, but, or that's one way to do it. So we want to go in through this last, chain here. Okay. And then, we're going to, pull through and make our single crochet here. So now we finished that row. Okay. Is that, how is everybody doing? Was that clear? Was that too slow? Just right? If you loved it, give me a love or like, and or give me some feedback and type in. Would you like me to show you single crochet again? You can write SC, or would you like me to go on to the half double? Oh, you just go into one stitch in front. Okay, let's see what it looks like with one stitch in front, and you'll be able to tell. Okay, so this is a nice flat flush piece. Okay, it looks the same on both sides. All right. When you go into the front loop, it can leave this in the back sticking out. You can also crochet from the back loop as well. So let's do the front loop. Okay. So we're gonna crochet up one, and we're gonna turn. All right. So we're gonna go into this stitch here, and we're going to go into the front loop and crochet. We're just doing the front loop only. Different patterns call for you to do different things, so it can come in handy to know how to do both. I'm just zooming along so that we can show what one going from one side looks like. And we'll probably need to come back and do another. Okay, on this particular one, that's awesomely bad. I don't like that. See how it's like the way that this yarn is? So I'm actually going to kind of mess with it for a second, because wow, I didn't like that. The size of the yarn. I don't think it looked as good. That's my opinion, but oh gee. Oh my gosh, this yarn is splitty today. I mean, I know it can be, but today it's just really not happy. All right, well, it is what it is. All right, so this is the chain from last. Let's see, how are we? We got. Okay, well, that was it. That was that last chain. Okay, so we're going to go and chain up and turn again. Okay, now when I turn, you can already start seeing this. Okay, see this area here, Ellie? See this line? That line wouldn't have been there if I hadn't left the back stitch out. So, okay, I'm going to crochet the front hook. We're going to do single. We're just going to make this lesson about going in the front and back for a moment here. Okay. If you're watching on the replay, you'll want to just fast forward past the section if you don't want to see it. Okay, so that's what that looks like here, and there's that line. All right, and then on the back here, now it appeared here. Okay, see how between these two rows, let me use something other than my big fat finger. These two rows don't have that line. Do you see that? But between these two rows, there is this line. You see that there's a piece of yarn going here and here and here. This would be a line here, but it's not. Okay, So if you ever didn't like that line, then I would go through both. So you can get this look if you go through the front or the back. Okay. Oh, let me get to questions. Let me look at my things here. Okay. When Janet says, when doing front or back loop only, when I get to the last stitch, I always go through both. I think that just makes a better edge. What do you think? Yeah, I agree. I don't like going through the one, see, because to me, it's kind of loose. So yeah, we would, it would be better is if we could go through here and go through both to end. Because man, that's real wonky. It would definitely make it sturdier. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so there's a fix for that. So if you do like going through that, say I just don't do them as often. So usually I'm doing it because it's a pattern if I'm going through the front loop or the back loop only. And then there is a washcloth pattern on my YouTube page that Leisure Arts has featured in a book, and then that they let me do a pattern on, and there's a stripe and then there's a solid. Anyway, and they go through they alternate from the front and the back loop to make a cool pattern. Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay. So, I can go on, to the half double crochet if you guys want to move on to that. So, do you want to, yeah, that's a great tip, Janet. We can start a half double crochet. This tutorial is live, and so it is for you guys to answer. So I can continue on the half double from here, or I can show you how to start a chain with the half double. What would you like? So right, chain. We're going to enter our votes now. You know, kind of like the game show. Enter your votes now. Right, chain. If you want me to start the half double from the chain. Or if you want me to just start, then write start. Okay? I'm going to take a little coffee break while y'all write. Okay, Betty says start, and I know Betty is working along with me. Okay. If you did start with the chain, I'll just answer. Okay, HTC. Yeah, half double crochet is the abbreviation. And then SC is single crochet. If you were starting with a chain, then you would chain up and then you go into the third chain from the hook, not the second. So on the single, you go into the second. And on half double, you go into the third. So that's really the difference there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to chain up 1, 2 instead of just the one. So half double, you can think double, and we're going to do double the stitches. So 2, and so we're going to chain, and now we're going to turn. Okay, now whereas on the single we started right here, we would have gone directly in the first chain, okay? But we're actually not going to do that. We're going to skip over and go in here, all right? So this is where we're going. Now I haven't started yet. I'm just showing you where we're going, okay? So not this one, but this one. So now we're going to yarn over before we go through. So yarn over, go through the second one, yarn over again, pull it through. Now you have 3 on your hook. We're going to yarn over again because we got to get something through there. And we're going to go through all 3. 1, 2, 3. Boom. That's big, right? It just grew really fast. So now we're going to into the next chain. So the same thing as a crochet, you're not going to skip anything. Same thing with a single crochet. You don't skip the chains, you just keep going across. Unless your pattern tells you to skip. So yarn over, go through these top 2, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go through all 3. Okay, so next one, yarn over. So half, I don't know if that helps you remember, but we're going to fill it up halfway before we go through, and we're going to pull it through again just like the single, and then we're going to go through again. So it's a half and then a double. So we got 2. So pull through 1, 2, 3. All right, let's do it again. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Okay, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, all 3. Okay, see how it's growing faster? Yarn over, go through, yarn over, go through all 3. Okay, we see how that works. Do y'all like the half double crochet? So the half double looks like it looks like a couple of rows combined of the single. Okay, let's do another set here. It's like 1.5 kind of size. So we're going to chain up twice, and 1, 2, and we're going to turn. And did I miss? Thought maybe I missed something. Okay, we're going to skip that first one and go through. If y'all want me to go through the back loop, let me know and I'll show you how to do that. Right now it's just more about executing the stitch. And I'm going faster than I know that you can, but I'm trying to get to the end. I want to show you what 2 of these rows look like all together. So now I'm coming back to where it started. This was where the half double first started, and so I'm going to have to go through that chain again because otherwise it's going to get wonky. And we're going to go through here. So I didn't go through the big hole there. Oh, and I created that. I did something weird. Oh, that's because I was all messing around earlier. Okay. Yeah, filling out half. Hopefully that helps. So see how it grew really fast? That looked like 3 rows earlier with a single crochet that would have filled that same spot. So anyway, so that's how you get that stitch going. Let's move on to the double, okay? Do y'all want to do the double now? The double's pretty popular. There's a lot of granny round patterns and granny square patterns that use the double. So, and the abbreviation is DC. Hello, Jeannie from Iowa. Thank you for joining us. We're gonna do the double. And so if you started a foundation with the double, you're gonna go into the 4th chain from the hook. Okay, so where on the single we went to the 2nd, on the half double we went to the 3rd, and on the double we go to the 4th, and that's to start the chain. So instead of me starting one, I'm just going to tell you that's what you do. And then now we're going to chain up 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So that's actually going to represent your first stitch here, and we're going to turn it over. All right. And then we're going to skip. So this is your first one. We're going to line up with the post. So you're going to skip this first stitch here. Sorry, my paper keeps moving. Skip this first hole here, and you're going to go into the second one. All right. So we're going to yarn over. Sorry, we had a connection issue. I had to stop for a second. So we're going to yarn over, go through, pull through 1. Okay, now on the half double, we would go through all of them. We're not. We're going to pull through 2 and 2. So we're going to wrap our hook again, pull through just the first 2, and then we're going to do it again. So we're doing it twice, so it's a double. Okay, so now let's do it again. Wrap around. Now we're going to go in the very next chain, just like we did on the other 2. Go through this top chain here. So we have 2 on the top. Wrap around, pull through. Wrap around, pull through 2. Wrap around, pull through 2. Do it again. We're going to wrap around, go through, wrap around. We're just yarning over, I'm saying wrap around. And then pull through again, 2 and 2. So yarn over, in the chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, yarn over, go through, yarn over, go through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You see how fast it's just getting taller is what that is. So we're only skipping, we're not skipping anything, but it's getting taller this way. So our project is growing really fast. So that's how you do that stitch. And it's going to be, it's going to give you more holes in your project than say a half double would. What am I going to tell you? Here, let me show you. Okay, so we've got this post here, and see how gappy it can be? Like I can stick my finger through here. So if you have a baby, you know, you've got less chance. Now on this bulky yarn, yeah, you should, okay, with the big hook. But let's compare this. Okay, so I've got an end hook here with this yarn, and they say that's appropriate for that, and that's fine. But let's see what it looks like. The same yarn with a different hook. I used this hook. Okay, so this is an L. Okay, so this is an 8mm, and where the N is a 10mm. So we're jumping 2 whole millimeters here. All right. So this is 12. This is 12 stitches, and this is 10 stitches. All right. They're about the same size width-wise, but I used less stitches. So this is less stitches per inch, and it bulks up faster. It's the same yarn. Okay. And then this is my double crochet on this one, and this is my double crochet here. So it's a tighter. So when I pull this apart, it's actually a little bit tighter on this one. And then this triple, I'm sorry, right here is the half double right here, and it's tighter than the half double here. See how you can see through the white better? You can see the holes. This one is that. Anyway, it may not come off as well on camera, but it is tighter on this one. It's more dense and more bulky. This one's more flexible. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a connection. So this one's a little bit more flexible because it has room for the yarn to move, and this one is stiffer because it's making the stitches more compact. Does that make sense? So yeah, and so I have tutorials on my channel on how to get it all lined up, nice and straight. And I'm just doing a quick demonstration mainly on the stitches now. Actually, I have Mikey with the Crochet Crowd, and he has videos on my channel, which I think are excellent, and they help you make sure you keep everything in line and you don't forget your stitches at the end. Unfortunately, this is a live tutorial, so I don't want to go into everything, but I just want to make sure that you can complete the stitches, because a lot of times, you're not, you may be doing different stitches in between, and so maybe you do a single and then a double into the same hook. So let's say we want to, well, let me do the triple first, and then I'll do something from the Marshmallow Crochet baby blanket. Oh, welcome Stephanie joining us from Wisconsin. Hello. I'm going to take a little coffee break. Hold on. While I'm talking, I need some more to drink. That's what y'all don't see when we're filming. I have to stop. Okay. The triple or the treble crochet, the TR. Okay, so this one, if I was starting a chain, then I would go 5 from the hook. So remember, the single was 2, the half double was 3, the double was 4, and now we would go 5 from the hook, 5 from the hook on the chain. So when we're doing the foundation chain, then you go in like that. Okay, so now let's start the triple, and we're gonna do chain up. It's 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's giant. It's a monster. It's so big. Okay, so when you twist it, it kind of compacts that stitch. I don't know if you noticed that. So when it's up like this, it seems really long, but watch how it kind of twists up and squishes a little bit. So it kind of makes that a little bit more compact, like it imitates more like what it does in the actual stitch. So now we're going to yarn over once, and then we're going to yarn over twice. And so with the triple, you've got triple the loops before you start. The double had double loops before you start. Okay, the half double had double the loops before you start, and the single had no loops because it was the single one that was already on the hook. If that makes sense in your brain to remember it that way, then let's do that. So we're going to go directly in. We're going to skip this very first one. We only do that with the single, and we're going to go right over here above this post here. We're going to go in, and we're going to pull through. All right, and then we're going to yarn over. So you should have 5 stitches on the hook. Yeah. And so we're going to pull through 2, just like in the double, wrap around, pull through 2, just like the double. But now we still have stuff on our hook, right? We got to do it again for the 3rd time, which also goes into the triple. So that's how you do that. So it's chain up. Sorry, I'm answering a question that just popped up. So it's chain up 3 for the double, and it's chain up 4 for the triple, and it's chain up 2 for the half double. Okay, so on the single, you're gonna chain up 1 and turn. On the half double, you're gonna chain up 2. On the double, you're gonna chain up 3, and on the triple, you chain up 4. That first chain, what it does is it's kind of like you got to get to a starting point in order to put your single on top of it. So it's actually one more than the name of the stitch. If you can remember one more than the name of the stitch, then that may make sense. But the half double is a little trickier to remember, but just remember that on the double, it's one more than what the double means. So 2 plus 1. So on the half double, it's just the 2. And then on the single, it's 1. Does that help anyone? Okay, so I think we're ready to start the next one. So we're going to, oh my gosh, what was I going to do next? We're just going to keep going, I guess. Go ahead and go into the, and then your stitch may, you may have something that calls for doing a chain and then going down in. So let's chain in between these, and we're going to do another triple. So we're going to yarn over again. And so you got 3 on the hook, and go in and pull through, and then pull through 2, and pull through 2, and pull through 2. Okay. And then let's chain again. We're going to skip over. Okay. Let's skip over with using this chain. So I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to skip this one. And then I'm going to go, I did chain that one. Yeah, I did. We're going to wrap over twice. So if it tells you to do that, what you're doing is you're creating a chain so you can jump over. And then we're going to go through here and pull through. And we're going to go 1, 2, and then wrap over, go through 1, 2, wrap, and go through 1, 2. Okay. Oh gosh, that yarn split on me. All right, let me do it again because that was hard to see. So do the triple wrap, go through 1, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Gosh almighty. Okay, somebody write Lion Brand. So anyway, what I'm doing here is I'm showing you how you can skip over. So we're going to chain 1, and you can skip over that chain here. It doesn't look as pretty with the triple, or at least in this yarn. But anyway, so we're going to skip over again. So let's wrap twice. I'm just trying to show some dramatic stitches so you can really see it. And then we're going to do wrap through 2 and 2 and 2. All right, let's do the last one. We're going to chain, and we're going to go skip this one here, and then we're going to go into this last stitch. So remember, we got to go through those top 2 stitches. So 1, 2. Oh, good gravy, people. Oh, this yarn's giving me fits today. I think it woke up on the wrong side of the yarn bin. Okay. Oh my gosh, y'all. I did not wrap. 1, 2. After all that, y'all laughing at me because I know y'all had this experience before. I know it's happened to you, or it will. Yeah, Lion Brand. Okay, pull it through. And then we're going to go through 2 and 3 and 4. I'm just counting how many times I'm doing it. So do you see how, now I did this a little wonky here. This is just a sample, but do you see how you get these big gaps? So if you're ever like, well, how are they getting those gaps? I can't get those gaps when I go through every one. Well, no, you're going to have to skip. So these are when I went through every, so this is what it would look like if they're all next to each other and they're real long, right? But if we want to space them out, do a real like chain looking cowl, you can build a really cool lacy cowl this way that's real built up like this. And so it's not exposed yarn, it's actually in a stitch, so it's fortified. And so you're skipping a chain, so you chained once between them. Sometimes you'll have patterns. Let's go back and I'll show you what it looks like to go in between these. You'll have a pattern that like maybe you've chained twice and then you have to grab this part and it's meant to be making a big hole, right? So let's go through and we'll do another set of triples and really grab and show you what it looks like. We'll do 1. I'm trying to think. Let's do 2. I'm going to do a half double crochet. I want to show you what it looks like to kind of bulk it up, and then we'll do another row of the triples and we'll kind of create a little design here, okay? Yeah, filet. So what did I do? I did 2. All right, now we're going to turn. We're going to do half double. So I'm going to wrap it up, right? This paper. I'm using the paper so you can see it against my, this is my dining table here. This is my, I have one of those vinyl covers here, but you just can't see it against the yarn. So we're going to go through, this is the first stitch here. It just depends on your pattern. I'm going to go ahead and fortify it. We're going to do this because that's just what I want to do. So we're the designer right now. Okay, so I've got the 3 on there. I'm going to go through all the chains and really make this a nice big thick line. And this particular one was a chain and I was messing around. I think I got way too tight. This is where your type of hook really comes into play, because this is a, oh my gosh, y'all, I'm tired of this hook. I'm sorry. I don't like that hook with this yarn. That's part of my problem. I like this plastic hook because it does go through it better. It's more slippy. The other one's kind of grabby. Kind of like, oh, I shouldn't say that. This is PG. Just kidding. Okay, so let's go through all of them. All right, so we're going to wrap around, go through the chain and pull through, and we're doing a half double here, okay? So we're going to yarn over. I'm sorry, I kept forgetting. I've got to tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to go through that stitch, pull through, yarn over again, and pull through 1, 2, 3. Okay. Do that again. Yarn over, go through, and if you're having a hard time picking out the ones up top, then just look for that single at the bottom and just hit that single, and then make sure you've got both, and pull through and go through all 3. Okay, it's a pretty effect, yeah. And then we're going to go through this next one. I'm just going to keep going across. I'm sure y'all are just watching me at this point. I don't think Betty's probably following along, just because I'm probably going and doing some techniques. Right now I'm just kind of doing a style here. So we're going to go through this little chain that I had done. which is another reason to be careful about your tension, because if you're getting kind of excited, I get kind of wonky with my stuff when I'm talking and doing it, when I'm teaching, not when I'm just talking to somebody, but anyway. Oh my gosh, I need to tape this thing down. Okay. So I gotta be more consistent about my tension here. What I'm trying to do is just go through every chain that I see along the top. And this will even out any uneven work that I had before. Okay. Okay, so now that I've done that, okay, you're like, whoa, she really grew that. Look how that grows, right? So it's cool. It kind of reminds me of like columns. Now, remember, this is weird because I did not skip anything over here. So this is intentional. I did something different on this side versus this side. So it's not like it was an accident. I was just teaching something else. But look at that effect here, right? Okay, so let's do something where they tell you how to go into the row below. So I'm going to actually I think I'm going to do it on this one and on this one, and I'm going to go into the stitch below. So you'll see what it kind of does here. So we're doing a lot here, but if it's okay with you, I think it's kind of fun. So let's do a triple. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Remember, we're going to do 4 because it's one more than the stitch name. Yeah. So then we're going to flip and go on the back. Okay. And then, oh, my ring got caught. Let's do a triple. So we're going to wrap twice, and I'm going to do, sorry, I'm trying to design what I want to do. I'm going to skip that first one, go in here, and then we're going to do our triple. So we've got 1, 2, wrap around, 1, 2, wrap around, 1, 2. So we're doing this triple again. Let's do a chain. Okay. And then we're going to do, let's see. Yeah, I was going to go through this one. I'm going to do a triple. So I'm going to wrap it twice. I'm going to go down to the stitch, to this row below. Okay. And I'm going to go through, and I'm going to pull through some yarn and let it guide back up here. And then I'm going to pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2 more. Okay. So that kind of gave me a little bit of a bump here. So see, it's like it's pulling it out. Okay. So then we're going to chain another one, and we're going to go to the triple. But let's just skip this chain here, which would be the next progress chain, right? Because this would have been the chain above, and then now I have one here. So I'm actually going to go into this chain, which is way above. Like if I was going down below again, I would go right here, but this is directly above it. So we're going to pull this through, and we're going to do the chain, and we're going to do the triple right above it. So this row is going to get kind of wonky, okay? And that's okay. I'm showing you something different. Chain 1, do the triple, and we're going to go into the row below. Okay, going into that opening. Same triple, all right? So it's creating this texture, and then depending on your yarn, like if you have a color changing yarn or you've got a different color, so maybe imagine that I had changed the color. What if this was all green and then I just started a new color of pink? Now it's pink, 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 whoa, pink, and then a little pink, and then a pink, whoa, pink, and then it comes up here. Let's do another shorty pink, right? So we're going to chain 1 and do another little shorty pink. So we're going to go into this stitch here. Pull through. See, I didn't do what I need to do. I need to do a triple. So we're going to back that out. Okay. And then triple. Pull that through. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. See, yeah, okay, I got it. Sorry. Sorry, I'm trying to do too many things. So now let's do one more triple to finish this row out. All right. So now we've got that. Now this is wonky because this is not a real design, but see how that could work. And then I can actually, I could actually turn this over and then do it again and decide. So when I turn it over, I could actually alternate them and say, okay, well, I want to go and do the same thing and build up another half double crochet and then do it again, right? And repeat it again. Or maybe I want to not fortify it and then go directly across and start going like into this one, okay, and going into the stitch below. And so I kind of alternate. So that's if you're just designing on your own. But anyway, now you kind of got an idea of what you can do with crochet, and that's several different stitches, several different techniques. Be sure and go back, and I can I'll put in the timestamps of how to jump to the right place in the video of what we talk about at that time. It'll be generic because of course there's tips interlaced in between. So let me pull the camera. So that is that. I think we've gone on for an hour. I did not show the marshmallow crochet baby blanket, but do you guys want to see just the start of what one of those stitches looks like, the texture stitch, how to put it like into the top of this one? I mean, I won't start as the, sorry, I'm trying to open my iPad here. It's got my pattern on it. I can do that texture stitch and show you. So if you want to do it right, I don't know, M-A for marshmallow. I don't know. I don't think there's an icon for marshmallow. I'm just double checking with myself. I think it's a single and two double, if I remember correctly. I'm like, I have to check my own pattern. Yes, you want to do that. Okay, so yeah, it's a single and two double. Okay, let me go through and I'll go do that for Janet. Janet says yes. Janet, you get what you want today. Your wish is granted. So, let's do this. I'm getting ready. Sorry. Okay. Texture stitch. Woohoo! Okay, texture stitch. Let's flip and go. All right, we're flipping, we're going. And again, this is not how you start this pattern, but I'm just going to go into the textured stitch, right? This is on the Marshmallow Crochet Baby Blanket if you just joined us. And this is to do this main stitch pattern. Okay, I'm not changing any colors right now. You can go to the video. If you go to goodknitkisses.com and type in marshmallow, you'll find this post. And right here are my pattern notes. And you want to have a multiple of 2 plus 3. Mine was 75. If you want to make a test swatch, you can chain up 17 and get started. Basically, it's 14 plus the 3. And so that will make you a nice little test, and then you don't have to feel like you're like wasting, time learning something, and you want to make sure if you like it or not. To get the marshmallowy effect, you have to really play with the yarn. I use Bernat. It looks like this, okay, and Bernat baby blanket yarn, and then you can change your hook style. You can also do it with a worsted weight yarn and a smaller hook, but it's going to be on a different scale. So let's see, let me get started. So the row 1 is really just the setup row, because it's getting your foundation, and then you just skip you start on row 2. So we're just going to start like we're doing row 2. So we're chaining 1, 2, okay, and then we're turning All right. And then we do 2 DC in the first stitch. Okay, so technically, because the textured stitch is 1 single crochet and 2 double crochet, so it's like we're starting it off immediately. So we will go in a double crochet right here. Okay, so this is not how I taught you earlier, but this is how this stitch works. So we're going to yarn over, go in immediately right there, pull through, go through 2 and 2, and then wrap over, yarn over, and go through that same hole there. Okay, pull through 2 and 2. All right, so that is the beginning of that, and it looks a little wonky. Yes, it does. Okay, so then we're going to skip the next 2 stitches. All right, so we're going to skip 1, 2, and we're going to come over here, and we're going to, we're going to single crochet. So we go straight in. We're going to yarn over and pull through and do 1 single crochet, yarn over, go through that same hole, okay, pull through and make a double. So we're going to go a double, 2, and do it again, single, double, double. All right, there's that one. Skip 1, 2, go into this one. This is a little tight, so it's another one of those goofball ones that Kristen did. All right, there's our single, yeah, and we're going to do our double. By the second double, that hole's much bigger. It's easier to see. All right, and we're skip 1, 2, go into this one. Oops. Because I'm at the end of the line, I'm just going to go ahead and go through this one just to make it end better. Single, double, another double. Okay, so see how that kind of, I don't know if you can see that little wave just a little bit. It's really going to show up on the next line. So the first time you do it, you just aren't seeing it. So we're going to repeat row 2 until you get to the desired length. So we've got 1, 2. Okay, so this is row 2. Chain up 2, turn. Now you can see these little marshmallow puffs that we just did. So from the front side, it doesn't look puffy, but the other side it does. And every time we switch, it alternates that look. So we're going to yarn over, immediately do 2 double crochets. So you always start off with the 2 double crochet because your first 2 chains are the single crochet. Okay, now we skip 1, 2. It starts becoming very apparent. Once you do this, you can tell very quickly where you're supposed to crochet into. Here's the double. All right, see how it's starting to really show the pattern? So we're going to skip over. So it goes 1, 2 over this hump here. Okay, so there's 1, 2 chains, and then we're going to here. So at the end of where it comes down, so this is on the other side. So we've got a double, and then it goes a single. So you're on the other side of that single now. Okay, so go straight in, making our single. So what it does is it makes the stitch go down again, and then we're making it build up again by making a double. Remember that double goes right into those holes there. Make sure and get both of them, or else you're going to have a kind of a low spot in your blanket there. Okay, or whatever you're making. Going to skip over. So see, once you see this thing where it kind of grows and it's like a little fan, like a lopsided fan, you just know that you're going to go down into that low spot. So this is actually a really good one for watching TV or just taking to like a, like a crochet or knit night, because it can be really mindless. Once you get that first chain going, you just go, especially if it's a solid, like maybe you have a yarn that's variegated and it just color changes on you, and no worries. So you can just sit and go. If you make baby blankets for people all the time, this is a really fun one. It's my favorite. In fact, I do love to design stuff, But, and I know it's my own pattern, but I actually don't like to repeat the same project over and over and over again a lot. But I will tell you, I do really love this pattern. So, it just, I love it. It's just really popular. It makes me feel good. And I love that it's got some variety to it. Like the way that you can change up your stripes, or you can make it a solid and then add the different color border, that kind of thing. You're welcome. Let's do one more row and then you get the really full effect of what that is. Because again, you have to have the 3 stitches together for it to have that look. So we're going to chain up and do 2 more. Turn it. All right. So even though you just started learning, you can totally dive in and do something like this. Your blanket does not have to be plain double crochet. That's fine if you like double crochet, but man, I like a little texture for me. So let's go down. Let's do our, see, now I messed up. See, Kristen messes up. So we're going to do our double crochet right in here. Do. If you forget to do that step, then that part's going to be a little different. And of course, this looks different at the top of this sample because this is not a real project, y'all. This is me doing several things at once. Okay, now I'm skipping over. You see, I'm not counting anymore. I just find that low spot and just go. And once you get used to seeing your stitches, it's going to be easier, especially in like your particular project with that particular yarn. So once you get that foundation row, you just start blowing. A lot of times people give up on crochet because they're like, oh, the foundation, it's so hard. Yeah, it's a pain. I still agree. So, and if you're not sure, I pull it back and count your stitches. So I usually check. I'm like, did I do 2 or not? So just pull them back when I check. So I'm not really counting. I'm just examining. You're welcome, Janet. I'm so glad you like it. You can see how this yarn, this hook makes such a difference. Your tools can really help or hinder you. Hinder meaning it gets in your way, and it's not a fun experience. And by no means am I telling you go spend a bunch of money. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that you should find and test out products. Like, so I bought this hook. I mean, like I don't get a whole lot of crochet products sent to me, but what I'm saying is yeah, this is weird because that's not, normally your project won't grow like that, but on this particular one, I'm letting it, but see how that looks. But anyway, normally on, I get tools sent to me for like looms and stuff to review. But I don't have any hooks that were sent to me, so I like to try them out. So, I mean, maybe one day somebody will let me, but so I didn't buy a full set. I've seen a set online, but I was like, I want to test it out before I just buy the whole thing, right? So anyway, this is an L hook from Clover. Love it with this yarn. Okay, so if you're coming to an end and you want to finish, you can just pull it straight out and cut your yarn. You can put a stitch marker here if you need to leave it and throw it in your bag. Oh my gosh, where is my scissors? Oh my gosh, y'all. I had some kid scissors here and the kids took it, but I had them because they were nice and short and travel-y. Oh gosh, now I have to use these bad travel scissors. Look at this. So I love them. They're nice and tiny for trips, but they are, sorry, I have a reminder that keeps popping up. They are a pain to do with a big yarn. I don't like them for that, but I do like them for other things. So you have to kind of pull it like that. All right. So we just pull that right on out. But what I want to do is turn this over and show you. So it looks like one big bump on this side. When I turn over, it's going to look like 2. See how it's 2 bumps here? So when you get the other color going, let's get that out here. See how this is? You got the two bumps here. And then when you get the other color, it has the one bump. So from the inside, it's actually two. Okay. So it's kind of cool. This is me trying to do a cocoon. I kind of stopped this project. Here's a closing stitch marker you can use. See, this is the one I like to use a lot. It's got like an earring hook that closes like this, really easy. Not one of those lobster claws, but this one's like really nice, especially if you have a hard time opening and closing them. So anyway, that is that. Thank you for joining me for this tutorial today. I had fun. I hope you had fun. If you guys have any last minute questions, I can try and answer them, but really I think we should probably wrap it up because it's been a very productive morning. I would love to see what you made. Please stick it on the page. Go to the Good Knit Kisses page, the main page, and share your work. If you make a marshmallow crochet baby blanket, let me know, and I'll feature it and share it on this page. Or if you put it on Ravelry, I'll feature it on the pattern page. So you can make pattern project. You can make projects on Ravelry, which is a free site, by the way, if you've never used it. And then you can post your pictures of your progress or like the final. And then if the designer sees it, then especially if they're attached to the pattern, then they can go and look at pictures and stuff and then go, hey, I want to feature your thing. So anyway, well, you're welcome, Ellie. Is that a head? A head? Maybe. What are we asking? Anyway. I'm not sure what you're asking, Lily. Is it a head? Oh, the pattern is lovely. Thank you. So anyway, thank you guys for joining me. I hope you had a great time. I did. And we'll see you tomorrow for the Social Media Friday. If you have a particular thing that you want, like a more specific question answered, I can try and do that. Oh, the purple and white. This is a cocoon, but I do have a hat pattern, like a baby hat pattern. And so I'm trying to make a cocoon. Someone actually wanted a cocoon, but she wanted like an adult size one. So that's why anyway. So, oh, and I see Raylyn just joined us. We are signing off right now, Raylyn. So I hope you can catch it on the replay. All right. Bye, you guys. We'll see you later. Have a great day and happy crochet.